So you definitely do not want to eat chicken again until you watch this video. Did you realize that there's over 9 billion chickens and turkeys sold every single year? And 99.9% of them are factory farmed, okay? They're very, very cheap. The other day I was in the grocery store with my videographer and we were looking at food, and they had these fully cooked chickens for $4. I'm thinking, how can they afford to sell these? Because the grocery store needs a profit. The distribution center needs a profit. How much do they really invest in feeding these animals and taking care of them? Now, it's really interesting. In 1925, it took 125 days to grow and mature a chicken. Nowadays, it takes 47 days, a month and a half, to a full adult chicken. Incredible. Now, there's a thing called CAFOs, Confined Animal Feeding Operations, okay? This is part of the factory farming. Now, I'm going to put some links below on this next topic, but when they were testing what's in the chicken and what's in the feathers and the beak and the claws, they found antibiotics, okay? Antibiotics, which were banned previously, they found antibiotics. So I'm trying to figure out how that got in there. Now, they found arsenic. Now, arsenic is a poison. And arsenic makes the chicken meat look very, very pink, and it also acts as an antibiotic. Arsenic is highly concentrated in the feathers. The problem is they use the feathers as a feed to feed the chicken, so it comes right back. They found residues of Benadryl, acetaminophen, Prozac, and they basically used these three for anxiety because these poor chickens are so tightly packed. But the way they wake them up is they give them caffeine, okay? You have to keep them feeding so they can grow. And also they're fed vegetarian food. And when you buy chicken, sometimes it has this label of this incredible, nice natural farm. It says natural, minimally processed. It says fed vegetarian food, which is really GMO grains like corn and soy. But I want to explain the difference between cage-free and free range, because a lot of people have a confusion on this. Cage-free means that they're no longer in the cage. And by the way, when they're in the cage, it's only basically the size of a piece of paper that they're able to live on, and that's about it. But cage-free means they're able to leave the cage, go into the barn, which is about 100,000 chickens in a very small space, so they don't really have that much more space. Free range is basically they're no longer in the cage, they're in the barn, but there's a hole and they can leave the barn occasionally. They don't really tell you how often they can leave the barn, but there is access to leave the barn. That's what free range means. Pasture raised means that they're outside the barn. So when you consume chickens or eggs, you want pasture raised and organic. Between 1940 and 1971, millions of women were given something called DES, diethylstilbestrol. This is a very powerful estrogen, okay? Now, it was banned in 1971 because it was not only found ineffective, but it was found to be very harmful and cause miscarriages, not only in first generation, but second and third generation. But what a lot of people don't know is the greatest usage of this DES was to livestock. And it wasn't banned until 1979. So if you were born before 1979, chances are you were probably exposed to DES. And DES really affects the endocrine system, the thyroid, the ovary, the testicle, the pancreas. And as a side note, I want to bring up something a little disgusting. It's called poultry litter, okay? That's basically chicken feces or chicken poop. They actually use this in many different conventional feedlots for cattle, okay? But you can't actually feed this to chickens, but you can feed it to cattle. All right, guys, so I'm sorry to disgust you. You're probably nauseous right now, and you probably lost your appetite. But just realize there's two options, okay? You can continue to buy the conventional factory farm chicken, or you can start buying organic chicken. Yes, it's more expensive, but this stuff comes with a package. It's much healthier to actually spend a little bit more. Go to the farmer's market. Buy chicken that has been raised on the land that's pasture raised, that you know this chicken has been taken care of. Yes, it's about $20 a pound, but it's going to be much healthier for you, and it's going to be worth it in the long run, okay? So I want to know about what you think about this video. So please comment below and tell me what you think.